Hello all, today we will see how to handle files in Python programming language. File preserve the data of user and it allow user to retrieve the content of file anytime. That means user can read the file, write the data into the file, modify the data into the file, or user can append the text or data into the file. Python also supports file handling and allow user to handle files, that is read, write, delete, and various operations on files. Python treats file differently as text or binary. Each line of code includes a sequence of characters and they form the text file. Each line of a file is terminated with a special character called end of line or new line character, that is slashing. It ends the current line and tells the interpreter a new line is started. So let us start with the file handling in the Python. First of all, we need to create one file object, and that file object will be created by using open method of the file handling in Python. So first step to start with file handling is to create the file object. For example, fp is my file object is equal to open is the method which I want to use now to open a file in particular mode. So this open method has three parameters. First parameter is the file name. File name means you can specify the name of file if the path of the file is same as that of your program, or it should contain a absolute path of the file. Second parameter should be access mode. Access mode may be read, write, append. That means for read you have to use R, for write you have to use W, and for append you have to use A. Other modes are already given in PPT of 6th chapter topic file handling. And third parameter of the open method is buffering. If the buffering value is set to 0, no buffering takes place. If it is set to 1, line buffering is performed while accessing the file. But now we are just using two parameters, that is the name of file and the mode in which I want to open the file. So first of all, I have created one file, that is sample.txt, with some lines and some text that I want to use in my Python program. So first I will specify the name of this file. Both my program and this file should be at one path. So first I will save this program on the same path of the file. So here now here I am specifying sample.txt, and second parameter is mode in which I want to open the file, and now I want to open this file in read mode, so I will specify here R. Now to read the content of the file, we should use some methods to read the data within the file. So for that we have four methods. First method is read method without parameter, which will be used to read whole data in the file. If you specify number of bytes in the read method, that many characters will be read. Then read line method will read single line from the current position of the cursor, and read lines method will read all the lines in the form of list or collection of lines in the list. Now we will go one by one. So first of all I will use read method. So fp dot read. Now see, if I run this, then I will get only prompt, but if I want to print the content I need to use print function, and after that I need to close this file to release the memory which is held by the open file. So I will run this, and now you can see that all the contents of the file are printed here. So read method is basically used to print the all data within the file. Now here I am commenting this, and now I want to use read method but with one argument, that is number of bytes I want to read or number of characters I want to read. So print suppose fp.read, and in bracket I will specify number of characters. Suppose I want to read 13 characters. So now you can see that including spaces 13 bytes or 13 characters are printed here. Now the next method is read line method. So I will use print fp dot read line. So let us run the program. Now you can see here that only first line is printed using readline method because my cursor was positioned to first character, that is beginning of file. That's why first line is printed here. Now I will use readlines method. Readlines method will return the collection of all lines in the form of list. So suppose if I write print fp.readlines, if I run this, I'll get one list, of course square bracket indicate it is the list, and it contains all the lines, and each line is end with /n, that is end sequence. So if I want to use readlines method, but if I want to separate all these lines, I can use the for loop and strip method. So for line in fp dot readlines, suppose here I will use line dot strip, and let us run the program. Now you can see that using readlines method we have printed all the lines within the file, but we have used here for loop and strip method. So this is all about file open method and opening a file in read mode and reading the contents or data within the file using various methods. So in summary, there are basically 4 ways to read the contents of file: read with number of bytes, read line to read single line from current position of cursor, and read lines which will collectively give you all the strings but in the form of list. Now let us go for another mode, that is write mode, that is to write the content in the file. First of all, I need to open the file in write mode. So instead of R, I will use here W, and first method to write the data in the file is write method. So here I will use fp dot write, and in bracket I will write hello file. Now here I am changing the name of file because my sample.txt file is already there and it has some content. Write method or the file open in a write mode will override the contents in the file, so the previous content will be erased and new contents will be added to the file. If file does not exist, then write method will create a new file and then the contents will be returned to the file. So as sample1.txt is not existing file, we will see that how it creates the file and how the contents are returned to the file. So let us run this program. Of course, the output is nothing, but we have to see whether the file is created and the contents are returned to the file. So we'll go to the same path. The file name is sample1. Yes, it is created in the on the desktop, and here after opening you will get that hello all string is written in the file. So now we will see that if I write another statement, run, again open the file. Now you can see here hello all, how are you is written in the file. But what happens here that whenever you have used this file first write method, the contents are written, but as /n is not mentioned there directly, how are you is printed on the same line. So if you want to print this next statement on next line, then you have to specify here /n. Let us check again. I am running the program and will open the file. Now here you can observe that the file is opened and 2 lines are written in the file. Until and unless you close the file, the new contents will not be written to the file. So first close the file and then you have to open the file to observe the changes. Now the next method is write lines. So suppose instead of this, now I am commenting this, and here I am using write lines method. There is no write line method, but write lines method is there that we have to use. So I am running this program. The program is executed. Now open the sample1.txt. Now you can observe that previous contents are erased and the new line is written in the file. So suppose again I write here same message and I run this, it will run, but after opening the file you can observe that both the lines are written on the same line, because right line doesn't allow you to write on next line but on the same line. Now what is the difference between write and write lines method, that we have to see. So first of all we'll use and we'll open my first file, that is sample.txt, but in read mode, and in L we'll collect all the lines in list from first file. So here instead of 1 it is only sample.txt. L is equal to fp.readlines. Now I will open the another file. Suppose fp1 is equal to open sample1.txt in write mode, and now I want to write all the lines from the sample.txt to the sample1.txt. So here now see, if the file is open in write mode, you can directly write here. So here I will use fp1.writelines, and in that I can directly pass L, that is the list, and then I need to close this fp1 also. Until and unless you will close this, you cannot observe the changes. Let us run the program and then observe the file. Yes, now whatever data written in the sample.txt is written in sample1.txt. Let us again check the program. In first statement, I have opened sample.txt file in read mode, and I have used readlines method to read all the lines from the sample.txt to the list, that is L. And then I have opened second file sample1.txt in write mode, and then using writelines method of fp1, I have written all the lines from the L to the sample1.txt, and after that both the objects are closed. So this is how you can copy the contents of one file to the another file. This is one method, or you can use writelines method to write the list of strings or statements in file. So in next topic we will see how to use another operations on the file in Python programming language. Now we have discussed about read mode and write mode of file handling in Python programming language. Let us start with append mode. Append mode and write mode has one difference, that is, in write mode you have to write the contents, but the contents will be overwritten on the file, and in append mode you have to write the contents, but the content will be appended to the end of the file. So let us change the mode of this. Now I am just removing this two lines, and now I am using sample1.txt, and instead of W I am using here A, that is append mode. So suppose if I want to write something in the file, now see, sample1.txt contain all these 7 lines. I am just closing the file, and again here I am opening the file in append mode, and now I am trying to write something in the So here I will write another string, suppose welcome. Now see, first I have created one file object, open a file in append mode, then I am trying to write something in the file using writelines method, and this fp1.close method is used to close the file object. Basically, close method of a file object flushes any unwritten information and closes the file object, after which no more writing can be done in the file. Python automatically closes a file when the reference object of the file is reassigned to another file. But it is good practice to use the close method after performing all the operation on the file, because close method is used to free up the memory or release the memory which is held by the file object. So always remember to close the file object using close method. Now I'm just running this program. After running, I have to observe the changes in the file. So let us open the sample1.txt file. Now you can observe that all previous 7 lines are as it is, and just welcome word string is added to the file. That means appended to the file. So now if I use here /n, the welcome message will be appended to the end of the or on the 8th line. This is the why we use the append method. Now what other operation we can perform on the file that we have to see. So to check the file cursor position, we can use tell method. So let us use tell method. Now here I am using sample1.txt. Suppose I am using read mode, and now here I am using fp1.tell, but I need to print this because this tell method will return the current position of the cursor. So here let us run the program. Now here you can observe that 0 is returned to you, that is now the cursor of the file or cursor of position is at the beginning of the file. Now suppose if I read any line, for example fp1 dot read line, and if I run this, then now you got here 30. That means the first line of the file is now already read by this readline method, and the position of the cursor is moved to the next line. So now the position of cursor is 30. So this tell method is used to tell the current position of cursor within the file. In other words, the next read or write will occur at that many bytes from the beginning of the file. The next method to set the cursor position in the file is seek method, and it is used to set the cursor position in the file. So seek method has two arguments. First is offset and second is from, where the offset indicates that the reference position from where the bytes are to be moved, and the from is set to either 0, 1 or 2. 0 means use the beginning of file as the reference position, 1 means the current position as the reference position, and if it is set to 2, then the end of file would be taken as the reference position. So let us use seek method. Now here my tail is giving me 13, that means my current position of the cursor is 13. So after this, if I use fp1 dot seek, here I am using the suppose 24 bytes I want to move the cursor, and from beginning of the file, then suppose I run this, my cursor is moved up to 24 bytes, but if I want to check it, then I can use fp1 dot read. Now you can see that tail is telling the cursor position 13 from 24th byte, but further lines are printed here. So now these are two operations, that is tell and seek, which tells the cursor position and seek sets the cursor position. Now how to rename file and delete the file that we have to see. To use these two operations, we have to import one module, that is OS. Now I am taking new file. First of all, we need to import OS, and suppose now I want to rename the file. So here I have to use os.rename. Rename has two parameters. First parameter is old file name and second parameter is new file name. So now I want to change the name of my sample1.txt file to something else. So here I am specifying my old file name, that is sample1.txt, and my new file name is suppose kkwt.txt. Now I will check after running whether the file name is changed or not. So run this. Open. Now see, you can observe that kkwt is created with the same contents of sample1.txt. So this is how you can use the rename method. And similarly, if you want to remove the file, then also you have to use same way. Remove will remove or delete the file from the location. So here I will use os.remove and in bracket. So here I will write the name of the file kkwt.txt. Now let us run the program. Now we will check whether file is deleted or not. So open all files. Now here I am not getting any file named kkwt. So these are two methods to rename and remove the file in our Python programming language. Now let us start with directory handling, and now you can see here that to use various methods to handle the directories, I am using one module, that is OS. So here I have import OS. Suppose I want to print the current directory name, I can use get cwd, that is get current working directory name. And now here I am getting c:\users asus desktop. Now on the same location, if I want to create a new directory, then I can create os.mkdir. Suppose my directory name is mydir, and now I want to check whether the directory is created or not. So open. Here you can see that on desktop my dir is created. Now suppose in that directory I want to go and create a new file. So I can go there, os.chdr mydir, and if I use os.getcwd, then now you can see that here my directory is changed. So now I am in my dir folder, and now in that I can work. Suppose I want to create a directory in this directory, I can use again mkdir, because my dir underscore 1, enter my dir underscore 2. And suppose in my dir I want to list out the directories, then I can use os.listdir method. So listdir will list out all the directories in the current directory. So here you got the list of both the directories that I have created in my dir folder. Now suppose if I want to change the name of directory, then I can use a rename method. So if I want to change the name of my dir underscore 2, I can use os.rename, in bracket I can specify old name and the new name. So here old name is suppose new name is my dir underscore 3. Enter. So the name is changed. And if I again use list dir, now I am getting the directory with new name. Now suppose if I want to create this my dir3, then I can use here os dot rmdir in bracket name of directory. So here I can specify the name my dir, and again whenever you use list dir, only one directory will be listed. Now suppose if I want to check whether the directory or path of the directory exists or not, then I can use here os dot path dot exists in bracket. So it return true, but if I say string, then it will return false. This method is used to check whether the directory path exists or not. So this is all about file handling and directory handling in the Python programming language.